How's it going? I'm doing pretty good, thanks for asking. Smoking some Lane LL7 in my Missouri Meerschaum General. Pipe fit for a general. You think I need to turn that flame down? Alright, this is politically incorrect pipe smoke number 7. I haven't done a politically incorrect pipe smoke for a long time, and some people like them, so. Alright, you ready to be offended? If you're easily offended. These videos are not for the easily offended. Like I always said, you know, there's no right to not be offended. I don't know what it is with people nowadays. I swear people are so freaking overly sensitive when it comes to things. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. Oh my goodness. Like you know how there were groups, politically correct leftist groups trying to get the Washington Redskins to change their team's name because they think it's offensive to Native Americans. When I think I read 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 Native Americans, it does not bother them one bit. I swear I like what Dennis Prager, the conservative talk show host, what he says, how the left is always coming up with, there's always a crisis with them. There's always some kind of crisis with the left. Like climate change, that's such a crisis. Oh, the world is going to burn up in 40 years, the sea levels are going to rise. When the evidence shows the opposite, that I think the temperature hasn't gone up in like 15 years. I think recently they were saying that, I don't know, the NASA or whatever, there's some NASA report saying that 2014 was the hottest year on record, but I heard that report's only 38% accurate. I don't know. I don't know what it is with the extreme environmentalists, the tree huggers and stuff. I mean, I don't know. You know, Earth's been around for a long time, and you know, there's cooling periods, there's heating periods. You know, God designed it really well, so I'm not worried about global warming or climate change. It's funny how they went from global warming to climate change. Yeah, the climate does change. It's called seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. And they try to blame any like so-called extreme weather on climate change. Hello, there's always been hurricanes and tornadoes and snow, and I think this last winter was like the most snow ever, like dropped on Boston. People on the East Coast. But then they say, oh, climate change, even when it's cold, climate change. Give me a break. Maybe it's because people on the left, the Democrats, the leftists, the liberals, maybe it's because they have no purpose in life, so they always have to come up with some kind of crisis, you know, something to put their energy into. Like they're always talking about how women make less money than men. Women aren't paid the same as men for the same work. That's been disproven as bogus. There's been a law or laws on the books since the 60s, I want to say, that you can't do that. That employers can't pay women less. Plus, think about it this way. If women made less than guys, why would a company ever hire guys that could hire all women and save money? If you see me looking down, I'm looking at notes I made coming up with this incorrect pipe smoke. Coke Zero. Now back to the climate thing real quick. That Keystone XL pipeline that Canada, they've been wanting to build from Canada to, I think, the Gulf of Mexico, Texas or whatever. Man, I'm all for that. Okay, bring it on. You know how many tens of thousands of jobs that pipeline will produce? But here comes Obama vetoing it because he always talks, the Democrats always talk about how they're for jobs and we're for the middle class and the working man. And no, you're not. They don't care. If they cared, they would build this pipeline. Obama wouldn't stand in the way. It's already gone through environmental review after study after study. And there's not going to be any significant impact on the environment. Plus, a pipeline transporting oil would be a lot safer than the trains and the trucks that transport the oil. How many train wrecks do we hear about every year where oil is spilled all over the place because of the tanker cars aren't strong enough or made right? I think it'd be a lot safer and a lot better for the environment if it was transported through a pipeline. Pipeline just sits there. And I think I heard something about they're looking into the climate impact of a pipeline. How is a pipeline going to affect the weather, the climate? Seriously, it doesn't put off heat as far as I know, or produce CO2 gases. I swear. I don't know, Obama's the worst president in the history of this country. He's done more damage to our nation and to the world and to peace in the world. And like this deal he's trying to make with Iran, really? Why are we even negotiating and dealing with that Islamo-fascist Nazi regime that hates us? They're always chanting death to America in Iran, and they hate Israel. They're always talking about wiping Israel out, and Obama and Kerry over there licking the boots of that government. I don't get it. I don't know. There's just some governments and some leaders you just can't negotiate with. I wish Obama would grow a pair and start being a real leader. And then Obama's trying to take over the internet. The FCC is trying to control the internet. You know, it's funny how the government always makes everything sound good. Net neutrality. It's going to be neutral and fair, and it's going to be kumbaya, and everybody's going to be awesome. No. When the government takes over stuff, they always make it worse. Always. I challenge any of you out there to give me an example of something that the government has run or taken over, and it's actually better. It's actually good. You know what you get quality is when it's private sector. And the internet's been such an awesome technology and creation. I mean, that we can, you know, watch each other on YouTube and upload videos and buy things and go to school online. And now the government wants to come in and regulate it like a utility. You think it's going to get better or to get worse? And who knows how many taxes they'll throw on it. And they want to control the speed of it. And you think they'll stop at just controlling just basic stuff? I bet you they want to control content too. If the government doesn't like what you're saying on your YouTube video or on your blog or whatever, they'll probably be able to censor it. Attack on freedom, attack on free speech. Right? Don't tread on me. See that flag right there? Don't tread on me, government. And of course, Obama and immigration, all these executive orders that he's issuing. I don't know who he thinks he is. He's not King Obama. He's not a dictator. He doesn't have absolute power. This isn't a monarchy. But of course, Congress is full of a bunch of wimps that won't challenge Obama or go against him. You know, I was happy when the Republicans got a majority in the Congress this last November, this last election, but what good did it do? I mean, seriously, come on, Republicans, grow a pair, grow a spine, have some guts. You know, they need to challenge these unconstitutional acts that Obama is doing. And then, of course, you know, I haven't heard it as much lately, but it was for how many years of Obama's presidency that if you go against him, you're a racist, right? I don't care what color the president is. If he's a leftist and he's messing up this country, I'll go against him. I swear, man, the Democratic Party, the leftists have done more damage to this country than I don't know what else. I hope I'm not boring you with my politically incorrect talking points. Well, here's a good one. I heard recently that Obama is blaming Bush for ISIS. I swear. There isn't anything that Obama has not blamed Bush for. The economy, this and that. Now he's blaming him for ISIS, saying, well, if we would have never went into Iraq, then there wouldn't be an ISIS. No, Obama, if you wouldn't have taken our troops out of Iraq like you did, there wouldn't be an ISIS. You know, and Bush was almost prophetic, because toward the end of Bush's presidency, he warned that if we took our troops out of there, that something would come and take its place, something worse. I wish I had where to find that for you guys, but I don't. Speaking of Islamic terrorism, yes, I called it Islamic terrorism. That's what it is. Extremism, Islamic extremism. Obama won't even call it Islamic. Just terrorism. He has no guts, I swear. And what is it with the Democrats and people on the left always defending Islam? It's like they're always out there defending it. Oh, it's a religion of peace. It's a religion of peace. It's a religion of peace. It's like they act like it's their job to defend that religion. I don't get it. You know, the leftists will defend Islam, but they won't defend Christianity or other religions. Now, what's funny is there's even some idiots out there saying that the terrorists, the reason they're doing all these terrorist acts stuff is because of poverty and because they don't have the economic opportunities that we have. So are they saying if I was poor and didn't have economic advancement and opportunities, I'd be a terrorist? Really? Seriously? It's like, just give them better opportunities and give them better jobs, and they'll put down the machine gun and they'll stop cutting people's heads off. Right. What world are you living in, really? Man. Makes you want to pull your hair out, but I don't have any to pull out. Guess I could pull that out. Another thing I don't get on the left, I think I talked about it before, is gender. I don't understand what kind of world we're living in now where they want to get rid of every acknowledgement of gender. You can't say boy or girl anymore. You know, you gotta let the girls play on the boys' team and the boys play on the girls' team. And if that boy feels like a girl, he should be able to use the girls' bathroom or shower or locker room. Really? Are these people mental? I mean, were they dropped on their heads as children? Are they on drugs or something? I heard in Sweden, oh man, there's a leftist, progressive, liberal country if there ever was one. I heard now they have, is it a pronoun? I think it's a pronoun, him, her, right? It, she, he. I think those are pronouns. They had like a male one, female one. Now they have like a gender neutral term. And there's kids over there that are being raised gender neutral. And the parents are like, oh, we'll let the child decide what gender they are when they're a little older. Really? Hello, you're either born male or female. And then somebody might say, well, what about hermaphrodites? They got both parts down there. Yeah, that does happen, but usually they whack off the male part and the child's a female. I swear. I mean, I swear the world's gone crazy. This country's gone crazy. This society's gone crazy. That now we can't distinguish between girl and boy, male and female. For thousands and thousands of years of world history, since God created this world, it says in the Bible He made them male and female. And now mankind is somehow smarter and enlightened that now it's whatever you feel. I heard about a lady that complained at, I think it was a Planet Fitness gym, about some dude in the women's locker room. And I guess it was because he said he felt like he's a woman or something. And they kicked her out. They got rid of her gym membership or something. What? Hello? Are we crazy? Seriously? I mean, do these people that are for this, weird gender neutrality and fluidity of gender, do they realize that some guy could say he feels like a woman just so he can go look at the naked women in the gym locker room so he can get his kicks off of that? They don't consider that? Man, it's a long smoke in this pipe. Pretty good though. If you've never smoked a Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipe, get you one. Good pipes, inexpensive. And yes, I use the filter. I don't know if you can see it. I use the filter. Cuts down on the moisture and a little bit of tongue bite. I don't know how people can believe that, gender is fluid, that it can be changed at will or something. I think even in New York State, New York City, that liberal haven, that leftist haven, they now have on the birth certificate, you don't have to put a gender or something. Well then, when that person grows up and on their driver's license it doesn't have a gender, how do you even know if that's that person that's on that driver's license when the cop pulls them over or whatever? I mean, if somebody can say they feel like the opposite sex, can I say I feel like I'm a different ethnicity? Can I say I feel like I'm black? Hey, today I feel like I'm black, I feel like I'm Asian, I'm Hispanic, I'm not white. And then people would probably say that's ridiculous. Well, it's not ridiculous that a guy says he's a woman or a woman says she's a guy when they have the parts that show that they are what they are. I swear it's like common sense has just been thrown out the window. Not so common anymore, I guess, right? Another thing I don't get is the Democrats and those on the left, their obsession with equality. Like in the city of LA, they talk about, like the mayor talks about, well, this fire department doesn't represent the ethnic diversity of the community. So? Do you think the people care what color the firefighter is that's rescuing them from the burning building and saving their life? Hey, as long as the firefighters or the police officers or whatever do their job well and are good at it, who cares what color they are? I mean, seriously, come on. In universities nowadays, we got to have this percentage of this color and this percentage from this country and this percentage of girls and boys and swear. You know, it used to be people were promoted and got jobs and got into schools and stuff based on their accomplishments, how smart they are. Oh, that's not fair. We got to have equal, even if they don't do as well as the other people, we still got to have equality. God. Really? And then they're always making a big deal at some schools. I think I want to say LA Unified, because I live in Southern California. LA Unified talks about, or in other school districts, well, it's disproportionate how many, students that are black are suspended as opposed to the other colors, the other ethnicities. Well, maybe they do more bad stuff. They don't want to acknowledge that maybe it's because a lot of the black students are more likely to come from single-parent homes. There's no dad around. And chances of kids getting in trouble is higher when there's no dad around. I mean, not just blacks, but in other colors too. So then I think they got rid of suspending them. Like, they can't suspend any kid now for if they're cussing at the teacher, being disrespectful, all kinds of crap. So now these teachers are in more of a hostile work environment in their classrooms, being cussed at and told off by these students, and they can't do anything about it. I swear, these new generations that are growing up are just going to be awful when they get older. Man, I don't know what it is. I don't know, maybe they should bring back spanking in school. What? Spanking in school? Oh my goodness. You know what they need to bring back is prayer and the Bible in school. Separation of church and state! Separation of church and state! You can't do that. Yeah, well, if you go back and do a little research, when the Supreme Court took prayer out of school and like biblical stuff out of school in 1962 or 63, all the bad stuff started going up from there. The teen pregnancies, the drug use, school test scores probably started going down. Kids have to have a foundation, and what better foundation than the Bible, than God. And of course, and also nowadays, it's like kids are being raised as wimps. They're wimpifying the culture. I heard about some parents, I think it was in Maryland, that got in trouble because they had a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old or 8-year-old walk home from a park. And I think it was a mile or less. And they got in trouble for it. How stupid is that? Kids can't walk anywhere anymore? I mean, at least they were together, too, the brother and sister. I swear, man, the Child Protective Services, it's like they go after the wrong people a lot. It breaks my heart. It's sad when I hear these stories about these parents that lose their kids for something stupid. They're not even abusing their children, but I don't know. God help us, man. I wish I could do more, than just make videos and stuff. I mean, I sign petitions, and sometimes I call my representatives, but California is in the tank for the Democrats and has been forever. I feel like my words and my opinion, and especially my vote, don't even count. Anyways, I've gone on long enough. I apologize. Thanks for sticking with me. God bless all you pipe smokers out there. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching, and talk to you next time. Later.